Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're diving into 10 mind-blowing tech facts that sound completely made up, but are 100% true. Get ready to have your mind blown. First up, do you know why it's called Bluetooth? It has nothing to do with a Bluetooth. The name comes from a 10th century Viking king, Harald Bluetooth, who is famous for uniting Danish and Norwegian tribes. The technology was created with a similar goal, to unite different devices like your phone and earbuds, and the logo? It's not just a random shape. It's actually King Harold's initials H and B combined using ancient runes. Pretty crazy, right? Next, let's talk about the computer mouse. The very first one wasn't sleek and plastic like the ones we use today. It was a wooden box. Invented back in 1964 by Douglas Engelbart, it had two clunky metal wheels underneath and was officially called the XY position indicator for a display system. Honestly, it looked more like a brick than a mouse. Can you imagine trying to navigate your screen with that thing every day? Speaking of firsts, have you ever wondered about the first webcam? You might think it was for video calls, but its purpose was way more relaxed. It was created to watch a coffee pot. Back in 1991, scientists at Cambridge University got tired of walking to the break room only to find an empty pot. So they pointed a camera at their coffee machine. The camera took a picture every 3 minutes and streamed it online, where it stayed for 10 years. That's the ultimate level of tech-savvy laziness. Now for a classic, Ctrl plus Alt plus Del. It's the 3-key salute that has saved us from countless frozen screens. But did you know it was created completely by accident? In 1981, an IBM engineer named David Bradley needed a quick way to restart a computer during development without having to power it off and on again. It was only meant to be an internal shortcut. But it was so useful that it became an iconic feature in Windows that we all know and love today. What about the first computer virus? The word virus sounds scary, but the very first one was surprisingly harmless. Created in 1971, a program called Creeper spread across the ARPANET, which was the early internet's grandpa. It didn't destroy any files or steal data. All it did was display a simple message on the screen. I'm the Creeper, catch me if you can. It was more of a playful experiment than a malicious attack. Here's a fact that puts things into perspective. There are over 8 billion smartphones in the world today, but messages sent directly from space are still incredibly rare. One of the first was in 2013, when astronaut Chris Hadfield tweeted from the International Space Station. And what about the very first text message ever sent back in 1992? It wasn't some profound statement. It just said, "Merry Christmas," moving on to email. Ever wonder why we use the @ symbol? Well, back in 1971, a programmer named Ray Tomlinson was setting up the first email system and needed a symbol to separate the user's name from their server address. He looked at his keyboard and picked the @ symbol because at the time nobody really used it for anything. It literally meant @ as in this user at this server. Simple, but genius. Think about how many websites there are now. Billions! But what about the very first one? It was launched on August 6, 1991 by Tim Berners-Lee at CERN. And the coolest part? It's still online today. You can visit it at infocern.ch. The site itself is super simple and just explained what the World Wide Web project was all about. It's a true piece of living history. Let's talk about another name, Wi-Fi. You might assume it stands for wireless fidelity, right? Nope. That's just a common misconception. The real name for the technology is IEEE 800 2.11b. In 1999, a marketing firm was hired to come up with something catchier. They chose Wi-Fi because it sounded cool and rhymed with hi-fi, which meant high-fidelity audio. It's pure branding brilliance. And finally, a quick and important security reminder. Every single year, when lists of leaked passwords are published, what do you think is at the top? It's still 123,456. Right behind it are password and 123,456,789. Millions of people still use these incredibly simple passwords, and guess what? They're the very first ones hackers try. So please, if you're using one of these, go change it right now. And that's a wrap on our 10 unbelievable tech facts. Which one surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing stories. See you next time.